How you doing today? I'm Zion Mayer. And today I got this stuff to talk about. You know, I'm always gonna be a motivation speaker for the people out there who done find themselves in a rut in life. Cause see, sometimes life always have trials and tribulations. It's always all type of trials and tribulations out there that people go through. You don't never let trials and tribulations break you down. Cause if you let trials and tribulations break you down, guess what? That's when they say you let the devil steal your joy. And you never let the devil steal your joy, because guess what? That means you get the focus, and then they're saying, it's not your happiness, it's just your focus. It's like you saying to yourself, this ain't working out. You start saying everything negative. And when you start saying everything negative and you don't see no way out, they're saying, you open yourself up for any type of advice. And sometimes why you finding yourself in going through trials and tribulations, and next thing you know, you find yourself going through a rut because you didn't gave up on certain things and on the pursuit of happiness, and like you can't. There's no way out, and you just stuck. So next thing you know, you find yourself taking advice by people who miserable themselves, and next thing you know, when you miserable and then misery love company, you join company of people who miserable. You don't know what you might get yourself into. You might find yourself trying to fit in because you find yourself loneliness. One thing about loneliness, and you find yourself craving, so you never exploit your weakness like that. You just trying to separate yourself. I separate myself and find me something to do, and cater to my and catering to anything where I felt like I'm missing in, and just speak on it. But you got some people who take wrong advice, and next thing you know, they done open themselves up to a world of trouble, because trouble is so easy to get into. And it's so easy to get into. You open the door for all kind of stuff, because one thing about it, you don't have a solid foundation. And by you not having a solid foundation, and one thing, and why by you not having a solid foundation, you find yourself shaking. Anything you open the door for anything to come in, because you feel like anything that sound good, it is good. And a lot of people don't understand what glitter is not gold. And you find yourself all of a sudden in the run, and everybody who you think that it was cool with you, they didn't left you on board. And then that's now you lonely, and now you more in trouble, because you done got yourself into something else by being a crash dummy. So one thing about it, when you find yourself going through trials and tribulations, you gotta realize that's when you stay calm and cool and be content through anything you go through, because that's when when you content, and you don't let and you trying to evaluate everything that's going on around your surroundings. Sometimes you gotta separate yourself, and when you separate yourself during your contentment, because you got to differentiate the difference between a person who just talking, who ain't showing nothing, or and find your own self talking to yourself, because guess what, you the only person who can strain yourself out. And see, that be the God in you that's straining yourself out, the voices that you hear inside your thoughts. You always got to cater to your thoughts, because your conscience always going to tell you what's good and what's bad. A lot of people say, oh, I ain't nothing wrong with trying that, because they find themselves thirsty and thirst. And they say there's no way out. There's got to be a way out, and I might feel better. But no, sometimes quietness and be on the way you can find yourself. And because guess what? During the trials and tribulations that you go through in life, you always gonna find yourself by yourself anyway. It's only God in you. See, one thing I had to learn all that type stuff, being incarcerated, and being in situations that I find myself by myself. Cause people, I had a tendency to find out when you up A lot of people want to be around you, but when you shooting bad, ain't nobody want to be around you. That's when you find yourself as what you can do and think and recognize what's going on. But a lot of people can't stand to be by themselves. They feel like it's a breaking point. Sometimes you have to void yourself and go out to the deep and change your whole surrounding. When you change your whole surrounding, you change all ideas and everything else, and then life still gonna have trials and tribulations, but you can see daylight and not getting yourself stuck in the rut. See, when you're going through trials and tribulations, you don't want to get yourself stuck in the rut, because once you get yourself stuck in the rut, in the mud, in the rut, in the mud, it's harder and harder to get out. And then people really then when you find yourself and you want to blame people, really you gotta blame yourself because you took the wrong advice and you acceded to do that because at the time you were miserable, and misery love company, and the person got whatever they wanted to get out of you. So you got to stay focused at all times on keep your eyes on the prize. Once you keep your eyes on the prize, everything will go good. So you got to sometimes root yourself with a good foundation, good thoughts, and feed your mind with good things and positive things. And when you set your mind on positive stuff, you'll see positive stuff. You can't look at a cup and say it's halfway empty. You can look at it and say it's halfway full. And what can I do to fill it up? And then you'll see yourself growing. If you don't see yourself growing and you hang around some people and you ain't growing with them people you hang around with, you need to get away from them. And this is James Merritt, and it's all about prospering and growing. And have peace beyond to you, and have a good day.